Hello, it's Russ, and I'm here with Kevin and Annmarie Gianni of the Renegade Health Show. And I am going to ask them a series of questions and just get to know them a little bit and find out more about them. So, there's Kevin and Annmarie.
Hi.
First of all, tell us a little about your background and how you got involved with natural health and what led you to the point to do what you're doing today.
Want to start?
Start.
Background, we were working at different jobs, and we decided that we wanted to reach out and help people in a better way. And for me, I was working as a real estate construction manager, and Annmarie was working
Oh, wait, I'm looking. What is that? What's that?
Oh, these guys here?
Yeah, I've never seen this shit.
These are five from Five Fingers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are they from?
Oh, we're live here, folks. We're doing an interview right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's like so you're...
They do catch people's eye. That's his shoes there.
Yeah, we
So-
love our shoes. I'm
Great
not
for
wearing mine
running,
right
great
now,
for
but
training, basically rebuilding your arch, your plantar fascia. But
Okay.
anyway, we decided we wanted to start personal training and reaching people on a more personal level, and that's kind of how it developed from there.
Okay.
yeah.
What
and Kevin wanted to write a book, and as he was getting all the information together to write the book, he was just looking at all these different authors that have written books and have done things before, and they've been doing it for 30 years, 50 years, 20 years, and he's like, who am I to, I'm just starting, and here are these people that have done it for so long. So that's really how he got involved and started interviewing people. He's like, why don't I just call them up and contact them, and then, kind of learn from them so I can grow. And probably the past two years, we've interviewed about 200 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have a new book out called High Raw. Do you guys eat 100% raw, or do you, like the book says, it's more of a high raw?
Yeah, we feel that we eat healthier when we don't put any limits on our diet.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense, but we just find that if we don't stress about it,
Yeah.
we're cool. And
Okay.
that's the best, and we eat a very high percentage of raw food, and we really enjoy it and really feel good. So it's kind of.
Yeah, we can go weeks eating all raw.
Yeah.
But there's some times where we'll do steamed quinoa or steamed vegetables, or if there's a gathering, and like the other night we met up with Kevin's good friend of Kevin's from high school that we wanted to meet up with them, and they went out to dinner, and we obviously made a good healthy choice, but we're not going to limit ourselves to spend that time with friends and community.
Okay. So I had a question here as to whether or not it was a gradual or overnight thing, and that's kind of it's probably more of a question for people that go 100% raw, but your diet now I assume was it gradual to get to the point where you are, or did you make a decision at one point and said, I got to make a big difference, I got to make a change?
Once I got out of college, I was partying a lot and really into alcohol and other things, and so that was a real abrupt change. So that was like, okay, I got to stop doing this because it's not helping me in any way at all.
Yeah.
But with food, it was actually more gradual change. I kind of got into health food through personal training and just through fitness. So the grilled chicken, broccoli, brown rice kind of thing. And did that for a while, and then someone gave me some MP3s, David Wolf MP3s, and I listened to those, and I'm like, wait a minute, this sounds pretty interesting. It sounds like something that might be of value to myself and the other people that I'm in contact with. So we started kind of working it that way. And we had a focus group when we first started our personal training business, and we had one woman in the group. She actually now works for us, but we had one woman in the group, and she called me one day. She said, how do you eat so healthy? I said, every day I just make a consistent and conscious effort to be healthier than I was the day before. And I know that if I continue to do that, there's no challenge at all. It's just, you just do it. It just happens.
Okay.
So that's really the valuable thing that I've learned. Instead of just doing it overnight using willpower, it just won't work. Eventually it snaps.
Good. When talking about raw, can you define raw? Is it strictly a temperature thing, that it doesn't have to be heated, or when someone eats a raw diet, can something be too cold and not be raw, or is it about processing?
Yeah, for me, I don't like to label anything anymore, because it kind of gets real sticky, and then you kind of like argue on these like really moot points, and just absolutely ridiculous. I feel. You know, I mean, whether something's cooked at 125 degrees or something's cooked at 118 degrees,
Yeah.
I could really not care about it. But in terms of raw, it's just eating from nature. Fresh fruits and vegetables.
So, what about animal foods? You guys have probably pretty much eliminate animal foods.
That's a good point. I mean, I've used dairy, goat's dairy, fermented goat's dairy therapeutically to help rebuild gut flora. So I don't like to label anything as eliminated or anything is out of the picture, because I'm looking for optimal health, not necessarily 100% raw or 100% vegan or anything like that.
You've interviewed a lot of health professionals. Who would you say is your top 3? This is probably more of a question for Kevin. Your top 3 people that you've interviewed. Your favorite top people that you've interviewed.
Charlotte Gerson, definitely.
Yeah.
An incredible interview, an incredible wealth of knowledge. Let's see, just kind of thinking. Phil Maffetone, I really like Phil Maffetone's work in fitness and health. And I'm just trying to think of the people I resonate with most. I really like Johnny Bowden's approach. Johnny Bowden, not raw or vegan or anything like that, but I really like his approach. He's a real solid kind of guy, just real dead on.
Okay. Out of the people that you've interviewed in the natural health field, what would you say are some of the most important things you've learned from them?
Okay. Cool. The most important thing is to eat fresh fruits and vegetables. So that's like number one. Generally, every health expert has. I mean, unless they're like complete nuts.
Yeah.
They're telling people to eat more fresh fruits and vegetables. So that's number one. Number 2 is to know your body, not necessarily intuitively, but also scientifically know what's going on. Actually do testing on yourself. Figure out, do blood testing, do urine testing, saliva testing to see what's going on, so you don't have to guess anymore. And then really just have an attitude that you're going to be able to take care of whatever happens. And that's a really important point when it comes to health challenges, is to know that eventually you're going to get over it, you're going to take care of it, you're going to get it done, and that's it. No exceptions or anything like that. It's just, I'm going to take care of whatever I have, and I'm going to find the answers to it no matter what.
Okay. You mentioned, it was actually one of my questions coming up, blood testing. How do you know if you're healthy? How do you really know you're on the right path? Is it critical to get a blood test? Is that how you find out?
It's one indication of what's going on in your body.
What are some of the key things to look at in your blood? Like, what do they say vegetarians lack a lot of times?
There's B12, B12 deficiencies, and you won't find B12 in blood. I mean, you won't find, with a blood test, you won't find your B12 levels. You have to take a separate B12 test. Because if you get like a regular CBC, complete blood profile, you won't find the B12, but you'll find a whole bunch of other things, like some minerals, iron count. You'll find your cholesterol levels, HDL, LDL. You'll find a big profile, protein, how you're digesting protein. So that's kind of one of the things that you can do. It's kind of a baseline. And then you can find out different tests based on that. So you can find out if you have D levels, vitamin D is important, B12 is important, homocysteine is very important. So just finding all these different types of things is really helpful. Just so you know. I really believe in knowing, not in guessing.
Okay. How about, question for Annmarie, how about supplements? So what supplements do you take?